Hey, good morning, everyone. It's another Tuesday, and we all know what that means. It's the weekly reset for New World Aeternum. It's where your expeditions rotate. You can go get your golden crushed coconut. Last week, we ended up having the opportunity to go after the Glacial Tarn set or the Frigid Dawn set from Glacial Tarn. I ended up getting the chest piece, the pants, and the boots. They're not the best. This one's probably this is the best one that we got. But every Tuesday, I make a video going over what we can get from this week's mutation dungeons. And so the three dungeons we got are Starstone Barrows, the Dynasty Shipyard, and Garden of Genesis. So the mutation is actually overgrown, which is nature damage, right? So enemies deal 20 to 40% base nature damage upon being hit. Enemies deal 50% of all damage as nature damage. Enemies periodically spawn a poison entity that deals 20 to 40% base nature damage over time and locks onto a far target. So the furthest target away will probably be able to get that. Upon reaching the target player casts an area root. Compost, enemies leave a zone upon death, healing enemies that stand in it for 3% per health. Okay, so with that being said, what you're going to want is to go to the shop or the trading post and look for an amulet of protection. So let's look up. Let's go to Imperial amulets. Doesn't matter which one, but you're going to come here. You're going to add perk. Nature protection. Apply. Let's go to can't afford because we don't want some. Oh my God. So the best two is right here. I'm probably going to go ahead and get this or this one. Which one we're going to get? And yeah, we're probably going to get this one right there. That one's pretty expensive though. I mean, it's 700, so that's not too bad. And it's got Constitution and Divine, so that's not bad. Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and snag this up before anybody on Pangea can get it because this is a real good amulet for nature protection. It's a little pricey, but it's okay because I think this weekend I'm going to farm some gold. So I want to go ahead and get that. And then once you do that, you're going to come down here. You're going to clear. You're going to go back here. You're going to go to your resources. You're going to go to your refined resources, cut gemstones. Scroll all the way down. Is it cuts pristine amber? Ah, nature ward. That's I don't know. I guess that's like but anyway, I figured nature would be green, but that would be like plague and stuff like that. So yeah, you're gonna want to come over to the trading shop and get your cut pristine amber, which I'm gonna go ahead and grab because I'm going to be swapping out my armor, right? I'm just going to go ahead and grab 10 of them. So that way we can go ahead and slot those in. And remember, it gives you an additional 6% nature damage protection. And I try to get as close to 40% as possible. That way, where are they at? Right here. So I'm going to go ahead and slot them. And show y'all. See, right now we have 12% nature damage. And let's go ahead and equip our amulet that we just got from the trade store, which we need to go ahead and lock. Because, I messed up right there. I'm supposed to put us to, yeah, you go there. You go there. Why are you not going there? Yes, equipped. Okay. So, come down here, put that there. Right there. And that there. See, now we are at 45% nature damage resistance. So that's plenty. That's super plenty. I mean, you could probably even do away with one of the pieces in here and just do your armor. I mean, your jewelry. And then put another like onyx or opal in there just to kind of get overall, more. Or you could possibly get away with getting rid of the 12% is a bit much. I think 39, 40% is the ideal target to go for. But let's go over what we can get from each mutated dungeon. So we got Starstone Barrow. which gives us Blooddrinker, which we already have. Blooddrinker is a phenomenal tanky solo set. It gives you self heals. It gives you hardy, which gives you 10% more stamina. So if you're playing a medium build, you can dodge 3 times. A medium or light build doesn't necessarily work for a heavy build. Leeching, heal for 7.1% of the damage you deal. So especially really works well if you have a great sword with trenchant strikes or trenchant recoveries or trenchant whatever that just gives you more DPS overall. And then of course you can put in whatever gem that you want. It does have a buff and a debuff, minus 25% damage, but you get plus 25% lifesteal. All healing from lifesteal is increased by 5%. But if you pair that with something like what we just got from this amulet right here, Divine, 10% health from all incoming healing effects. So you're essentially getting even more heals with Blooddrinker and this amulet right here with Divine. So Blooddrinker is definitely worth going and checking out because it's super, super good. Now we got the Dynasty Shipyard, which gives us let me see. Yeah. Dynasty Shipyard gives us the Butcher, which is a pretty decent, pretty good actually, one-handed sword. I'm going to get it and check it out in PvP. PvP build with sword and shield. Magnify, of course, and gives hemorrhage. Bleeds last 25% longer, works on both weapons. So if you pair it with your great sword and you got the bleed on there, then this is make the bleed last even longer. Jagged Royals, rolling blade inflicts bleed, dealing 10% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Empowering rolling blades. If 2 or more enemies are within its radius while performing a rolling blade attack, gain 24% base damage for each nearby target. So you'll end up doing more damage with rolling blade the more targets you have on you. So that'll work as a tank. That'll work as a tank in ORP or any kind of big PvP setting, like taking forts or anything like that. And then you got Keenly Jagged, of course, inflicts bleed on critical hit, dealing 10% weapon damage per second. So that is even more bleeding damage that's going to go with that. So that's another item that you're going to be able to go get, which we're going to be going after that one for sure. And then the third and final mutation dungeon of the week, which I still have to do the base of this one here, is Garden of Genesis. And Garden of Genesis gives us Freya's Francisca. 38% magnify, of course. Throne mastery. Throne axe projectiles reduce all axe skills cooldown by 25%. And then you can attach a gem into the empty socket. Empowering rending throw. Ranged hatchet attack deals 40% damage against rending throw targets. Refreshing move. Light and heavy attacks reduce your active weapon cooldowns by 2.5%. And then you upgrade it to 725. You get your random perk, which I would probably put something just as a solo player primarily. Something to do with healing, right? It's like lifesteal or something that can kind of, which obviously this would also work if you got like lifesteal with your Blooddrinker as well. But that's what we got for the mutations this week. Don't forget, you can also go over to the free-for-all zone down here in Cutlass Keys to get your coconut, which is where a lot of these people are probably getting ready to go to. Just look for the bright beam or just open a bunch of elite chests and you'll be able to get your golden coconut fairly easy. I wouldn't recommend doing it on a Tuesday because it is going to be highly contested over there. I would personally, I do mine on Wednesdays because I don't typically stream on Tuesdays. That's another thing. I do apologize about the stream yesterday. Wife had a super bad day at work and I told her that we'd come home and we stream some Helldivers too and we'll just destroy some bugs and stuff. So man, people were loud this morning. But yeah, that's what we got. I appreciate y'all coming and checking out the video. Stay tuned for Wednesday. We will be trying to get the 2 artifacts from Garden of Genesis and the Dynasty Shipyard. We're trying to get those 2 there. And we'll be also attempting to upgrade our boots and pants. We're going to get those to 700 this week. I'm not going to level this up just yet, just because I want to be able to get these 2 and I want to get refreshing on them. And then I'm going to start looking for some enchanted ward with refreshing on these as well. So yeah, Thank y'all for coming and checking out the video, and we will see y'all next time in Aeternum. Thank you.